welcome to my channel. So Hannah Louise Posten really has been doing the Lord's work here on this platform. Has a series here on YouTube. It's called Duping the Vibes, and she assembles her own palette that dupes the vibes of the one that she is considering buying. So the thing about duping the vibes is not so much finding an exact shade match or whatever shadow that she's interested in. It's more so trying to figure out what it is that she likes about the new eyeshadow palette and seeing if there are existing shadows in her collection that can come close enough to what she's thinking of buying. Okay, so I'm editing right now, and it seems that I forgot to mention what my intention for Duping the Vibes was, or is rather. So Hannah Louise Posten does Duping the Vibes to get the idea of the new product that she's looking for, which is typically a palette, an eyeshadow palette. So she wants to get an idea of what this palette would be like, and she uses her own eyeshadows to create a vibe, right? So the way that I used the method was to not so much deter myself from buying products. It's actually to buy fewer products, because my intention was to get a couple things so that I can, create a video for my channel, but also to fill in certain little gaps that I might have in my collection. So I used the method to narrow down what products would actually be useful for me to get. So it's not so much that I tried to dupe the vibes to not buy, which is typically what Hannah does, that she dupes the vibe so that she doesn't buy a new eyeshadow palette. I used the method to not buy products that I can already dupe with products that exist in my collection. Does that make sense? I hope so. I kept talking in circles for the entire intro. I don't know why it was so hard for me to articulate what I was doing for this video. So sorry about that. I've been watching her for about a year or so. She's helping us rethink beauty and consider being more mindful of our consumption of beauty products. And I feel like I've learned so much from watching her, and I'm so grateful that someone like her exists on this platform. So giving credit where credit is due, this video is basically my iteration of Duping the Vibes. So on that note, I found myself on the Merit website yesterday, and before adding absolutely everything to cart, I tried to follow Hannah's method of duping the vibes, and I realized that I do have some products that I can mix together, or some products that are actually pretty spot on as far as like dupes go for Merit. So in this video, I want to show you how I applied the method and the products that I used to dupe the vibes of those Merit products that I so very much want to get. I think this was one of the longest intros I've ever recorded. I'm specifically going by the swatches that are on their website and comparing what I have. So hopefully the swatches, I already filmed the swatches of the things that I do have, and hopefully those swatches look true to color, because I find that sometimes the white balance gets a little weird and the colors don't end up translating the same, Anyway, okay. So first things first, I allowed myself to add all of the products that I was genuinely interested in buying. I added all of those to my cart. That's what I ended up working with to find any possible dupes in my collection. So starting with the Flush Balm, I really want to try Merit's blushes because they just look divine for like a really subtle makeup look, which is what I actually prefer on me. So I began with the shade Mood because I thought it was a shade that would be unique to my collection. And it's described as a soft burgundy, and it looks almost like it runs a little brown on the swatch, but on the model it actually looks a bit more berry toned. So come to find out that Mood is actually not unique to my collection. I have something that comes pretty close to it, very close to shade and possibly even formulation. I thought that Cocoa from Salt, New York would be a really great dupe. It's what I have on my face right now. With Cocoa from Salt, New York, I actually think that, you know, on the pan it does look quite brown. However, when you swatch it, and again I'll insert the actual swatch, but when you swatch it, it actually, I don't know, it looks a lot more berry in my opinion. I mean, look at my cheeks. It actually looks like it's a little pinky purpley. So that was my dupe. Clearly I don't have to add Mood to the cart, so I ended up removing it. And another shade that I think is very similar to Salt, New York is Cheeky from Merit. I didn't add Cheeky to my cart because I was aware that I have Rose by Salt, New York, so I knew that I didn't necessarily need another pink blush. So the only other shade that really intrigued me was actually Beverly Hills, and it's a peachy blush that actually makes me think of the shade Velvet Melon from Kosas. Velvet Melon is a shade that I had been wanting for the longest time, but I already have a pretty large collection of Kosas blushes, so I really wanted to see if I could find a different formulation. So that's why I've never really pulled the trigger on Velvet Melon. And from the photo on the Kosas website, Velvet Melon might actually be a little bit more yellowy, more peachy, but I think it's pretty spot on. And because I don't have Velvet Melon in my collection, I think that Beverly Hills might actually be the shade that I try out. It has a unique spot in my collection. I have nothing else like it, and yeah, I wouldn't feel bad about adding it to my stash. So that was it for the cheek products. Next up is the tinted lip oil. I'm looking down because I have my computer in front of me so that I can see the pictures of the products. So the tinted lip oil, I think the tinted lip oil from Merit, no, I'm lying. That wasn't the first product that attracted me to Merit. It was actually the signature lipsticks, but we'll get to there. So I looked at the shade Marrakesh and I realized that the name sounded familiar. So I have a Marrakesh, but it's by MAC and it's a different formulation. It's a lipstick. But I decided to test both the lipstick and my only lip oil, and I feel like the combination of these two came pretty close. Merit's Marrakesh leans a little bit more orange, but my combination looks close enough that I don't have to add Marrakesh to my cart. Another shade that I can dupe is Sangria. It's a deep berry that is really pretty, but I can mix Fringe from Kosas and the lip oil and then get a pretty close dupe. I ended up adding a little bit of Fenty Beauty Shouty lipstick, lip balm, because it's a little more vampy and I felt like it could pull the berry tone. Is actually what's on my lips right now. For some reason it looks more red on camera, but it's so weird. In person I can actually see more of like the purple, so I don't know, you'll just have to trust me. So Falcon is the shade that I decided to leave in my cart because I don't have anything like that in my collection. It is unique. It makes me want, well, because I wanted to try the formula of the lip oil from Merit, I figured that the best shade would probably be Falcon. Moving on. So this brings us to the signature lip colors, lipsticks. I had the most trouble narrowing down the lipsticks that would be the most useful in my collection or the most unique because I almost threw the method out of the window. But again, the method works. So many of the shades are out of stock either way. So the only shades that were available were 1990 and Slip. So I did at 1990, but I swatched the color Be Proud from the Sephora collection. What is it called? Is it a lipstick or a lip balm? So this has been in my arsenal for a few months and I love the way it looks on me. I feel like it's one of the, I don't know, I feel like it looks pretty neutral. It just is the perfect brown shade. I'm still on the fence about it, to be completely honest. I want to keep it in my cart, but it's also important to me to spend wisely. And, you know, especially because I have a limited budget that I've given myself to spend on makeup products. I want to proceed with caution when adding things to cart. But 1990 is just so pretty. So Slip is very similar to another lipstick by Kosas, which is Vegas. Vegas has been with me for like 2 years already, and I've loved it to death. It was one of my favorite shades for a long time. Slip, I think, leans a little bit more peachy toned, and Vegas leans a little bit more mauve. I kind of feel like Vegas looks a little bit better on me because there are times when I use lighter lipstick shades and my lips end up looking a little like milky. Do you know what I'm saying? Where the pigment actually settles into the lines, the wrinkles on my lips. I don't know, I kind of prefer Vegas in that sense, but I can't really say, right? Because I haven't tested it. Regardless, I have Vegas. I'm almost out of it, so I think I'll wait to have future purchase maybe sometime down the line, and maybe I can end up with Slip. Cabo is a shade that I would have added to my cart if it was available, and it's a soft red orange, just beautiful. I mean, whoever did the photo shoot, whoever directed the photo shoot, or you know, was like the creative director behind it, gosh, great job. The models look incredible and the product shots look insane too, just so clean and sleek and modern. But anyways, back to Cabo. I thought I could use Marrakesh again, but this time mix a little bit of Brave from Rare Beauty. It's a liquid lipstick. Marrakesh is a little bit more of a brick red and Brave is a little bit more orange toned. And then I added a little bit of the lip oil on top just to kind of give it that similar feel. I think I got pretty close to Merit's Cabo, so Cabo will not be added to my cart once it is restocked. But Tiger is a shade that actually makes me drool. I would have added it if I could, out of stock as well. But as far as I know, Merit will be restocking next week. Per the replies on the comments on their Instagram asking when they plan to restock, I'm really hoping that I can catch Tiger because this is the shade that it's just so beautiful. It's a brick red and I just felt like I couldn't easily dupe this shade or even come close for that matter, and I think, you know, that's what makes it unique enough for me to add to my collection. So yes, another product, the last product that I was interested in was the Perfecting Complexion Stick. It looks interesting, but I feel as though there's very little product in the component, and I have Salt New York's Sneaky Balm. Although I imagine that the Sneaky Balm is more emollient than the complexion stick, I feel like it could still give me the same vibe because I don't see the complexion stick being very high coverage, perhaps a little bit waxier. I feel like my Sneaky Balm could be a little bit better for me and the way that I use a complexion product. Excuse me, Miss Jerry Berry. Miss Cherry Berry. It's tired. I'm so tired. She's been on my lap this entire time because she refuses to sleep anywhere else. So that's it. That is it for the products. So what I ended up with in my cart, right? Hanging on until next week to make the purchase because I'm waiting for Tiger. So I ended up with the Blush Balm Beverly Hills. From the tinted oils, I ended up with Falcon. I'm so excited. And the signature lip colors, I ended up with Tiger. Possibly 1990, still up in the air. Those are my choices. I feel like I made a more conscious decision as to what would be beneficial for me and what would be used within my collection. So yeah, I feel good about it. I will film a video once I receive the products so that I can tell you guys what I think. So that is it. Thank you so much for watching. If you're still watching, I really hope that this encourages you to apply Hannah's method of duping the vibes and really taking a good look at your collection. Love the makeup collection that you have and actually use it before it expires. And I will see you in the next one. Bye.